America's bravest proving unstoppable for the second day in a row. World War II vets made their way to the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C., despite being kept out by government barricades.
That's right. The government initially said keeping the memorial open for vets wasn't, quote, essential, but apparently spying on them is. The NSA and its domestic surveillance operations are not likely to be affected by the shutdown we hear.
Fox senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano is here. Judge, who's writing this?
Well, yeah, there's a couple of points here. This is more than just a human interest story of the greatest generation, my father's generation, who fought in the Navy in World War II, going to visit the memorial for their comrades who died and what they did. This is an example of how the executive branch, the president, has the upper hand in a situation like this, because the president can decide with the little money that he has what he's going to keep open and what he's going to close. He can increase the pain on the American public, or he can decrease the pain. As Stuart Varney said a few minutes ago, and I entirely agree with him, the president wants the market to go down, and he wanted this shutdown. That's why he refuses to negotiate with the Republicans, because he thinks it will help him politically. He doesn't care who suffers. He caved on the veterans. Look at them. They're so sympathetic. The reason we have freedom today is because of that generation. How could he not let those guys in a wheelchair up that hill?
No door.
Right.
It's open air.
Was he betting that they wouldn't show up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you know what caused him to cave? A bunch of congressmen came, young male members of Congress, and physically moved the barricades out of the way while the Rangers stood by like that.
You know what's extraordinary is, I was reading in the Daily Caller, in past shutdowns, war memorials were never, ever closed. They were never, ever barricaded. So this goes to your point that perhaps this president is trying to exact a little pain, you know, and you look at those veterans to prove his point that they need to sign, the Republicans need to sign off on his plan.
The pain when the sequester was coming, you know what?
Sky was going to fall.
Right. We all lived through it. We'll live through this. They'll eventually reach some compromise. But he does not have the right to increase pain. Actually has the legal right. Does he have the moral right to increase pain on selected groups of people like veterans in their 80s?
You know, it's interesting. The Secretary of Defense does have the ability, according to Buck McKeon, to go back to full strength because there's an act out there. So if Chuck Hagel continues to say, hey, I need my civilians and I'm really hampered, that's not even legally accurate.
Correct. Correct. Chuck Hagel has a lot of authority, but he can only exercise it if the president lets him to. While all this is going on, the NSA is gathering our credit card information, our banking information, and our utility bills.
And I believe they paid off my balance.
That would be nice if they did that.
That would be great.
Because they want to know everything about us, and it's dangerous when the government knows everything about us. The Constitution was written to prevent that.
Yeah,
Here.
Priorities.
Priorities.
Right?
Right. All right. Judge Napolitano, thank you very much.
Pleasure.